Windows 11, the world's most popular desktop operating system, is also one of the most frustrating, and it runs on over 70% of computers globally after Windows 10's retirement. The biggest hidden problem is no longer just the standard bloatware or the forced Microsoft account setup during installation. The real issue is that Windows 11 treats your hardware as a continuous data stream for Microsoft's business interests. With the integration of deep system-level AI frameworks like Windows Recall, the operating system now takes constant snapshots of your screen activity by default, creating privacy vulnerabilities that most users have no idea exist. Mandatory background updates continue to break stable audio and display drivers without warning, and driver conflicts after major updates have been a recurring problem for years with no consistent fix. Microsoft's aggressive push for strict hardware requirements like TPM 2.0 has permanently forced millions of perfectly fast, functional machines into electronic waste. Those computers were not slow, they were not broken. Microsoft simply decided they were no longer eligible, and the people using them had no say in that decision. Windows 11 is powerful and deeply compatible with more software than any other platform, but the operating system increasingly serves Microsoft's interests first and yours second. Android. One operating system, thousands of different experiences, and a fragmentation problem that continues to divide its user base in ways most people never fully understand. Android powers more active devices than any other system on the planet, but its deepest flaw remains how updates are handled across the ecosystem. While premium flagship phones from major brands now promise an impressive 7-year update roadmap, the vast majority of mid-range and budget devices are abandoned after just 1 or 2 major Android versions. This leaves hundreds of millions of people running outdated software with known, unpatched security vulnerabilities, not because they chose to, but because their manufacturer moved on. Background optimization varies wildly across different manufacturer software skins, causing identical apps to drain battery aggressively on one device while running perfectly fine on another. Because developers must build and test for thousands of unique hardware configurations simultaneously, app quality remains highly inconsistent across the ecosystem. The Android experience on a flagship Pixel is genuinely excellent. The Android experience on a budget phone from a smaller brand 2 years after launch is something else entirely, and both are called Android. Linux. Free does not always mean easy, and the gap between what Linux promises and what it actually delivers for a regular user remains wide. Linux dominates servers, supercomputers, and the infrastructure that runs the internet. Developers love it for good reason, but the desktop experience is still plagued by systematic inconsistency that the community has never fully resolved. While the rise of Flatpak as a universal package format has reduced some of the setup failures across distributions like Ubuntu and Fedora, app behavior is still fragmented across different environments. Hardware driver support has improved significantly, but advanced Wi-Fi configurations, biometric readers, multi-GPU setups, and newer laptop components frequently break after updates and demand manual terminal fixes that average users should never have to perform. The complete absence of native Adobe Creative Cloud and Microsoft Office remains a hard barrier for creative professionals and corporate environments. Open-source alternatives exist and are capable, but they are not equivalent for professional workflows, and most industries are not interested in retraining their teams around different tools. Linux gives you extraordinary control and real freedom, but it asks for significant technical patience in return, and that trade-off works for some people and completely fails others. iOS. Smooth and secure, but only Apple's way, enforcing a walled garden that dictates exactly how you use a device you paid for. Under heavy legal pressure from global anti-monopoly laws like the European Union's Digital Markets Act, Apple has been forced to allow third-party app marketplaces and external payment systems. But this freedom is heavily geo-restricted, leaving users outside Europe stuck with the rigid App Store monopoly and its high transaction commissions that developers pass directly to consumers. While iOS 18 opened up basic home screen layout options, deep customization like system-level font changes remains entirely locked. You work within the boundaries Apple has drawn, and those boundaries reflect Apple's preferences more than yours. Independent repairs remain a financial problem. Software locks tied to specific hardware components mean that even replacing a screen with a genuine Apple part triggers warning messages unless the repair is verified through Apple's internal validation tools. Accessories within the Apple ecosystem carry a significant price premium, and the combination of restricted software, expensive repairs, and tightly controlled hardware means the true cost of owning an iPhone extends far beyond the price on the box. macOS. The polished experience comes at the cost of your freedom, hiding a restrictive ecosystem behind one of the most beautiful interfaces in computing. The shift to mature Apple silicon has brought real benefits. Battery efficiency is exceptional, and tools like the game porting toolkit have finally made serious gaming more viable on Mac than at any point before. But the underlying hardware is an unupgradable system by design. RAM and storage are soldered directly to the board, making post-purchase upgrades completely impossible. If something fails out of warranty, repair costs are high, and independent repair options are limited by the same software locks that Apple applies across its product line. Customization options on macOS are narrower than any major competitor. You cannot reshape the experience the way you can on Windows or Linux. You work within the environment Apple designed, and that environment is built to keep you inside Apple's business model. Constant system-level nudges toward iCloud storage, Apple One subscriptions, and Apple services make clear that the premium hardware is just the entry point. The long-term cost accumulates through the ecosystem, and leaving that ecosystem, switching back to Windows, moving files, replacing tools, losing continuity between devices, is designed to feel difficult. ChromeOS, amazing for students and genuinely frustrating for professionals, built entirely around the assumption that everything you need lives in a browser. Google has addressed one major complaint by extending Chromebook lifespans to a guaranteed 10 years of automatic security updates, which was a meaningful improvement over the previous auto-update expiration policy that left devices unsupported after just a few years. But the core limitation of Chrome OS has not changed. The operating system is a web browser elevated to a desktop environment, and it is designed by a company whose primary business is advertising. Your documents live in Google Drive, your email lives in Gmail, your browsing behavior, your work habits, and your daily activity are deeply visible to a company that monetizes attention. Local storage is minimal because the system assumes your data lives in the cloud, and that assumption breaks immediately during internet outages. Professional creative software, advanced desktop applications, and any serious local processing workload cannot run natively on Chrome OS. Power users who try to push beyond casual tasks hit a wall quickly, and no amount of Android app support fully compensates for the absence of real desktop-class software. HarmonyOS, a powerful alternative that has achieved massive domestic success, but still struggles to go global in any meaningful way. With the deployment of HarmonyOS Next, Huawei has officially severed its remaining ties with Android, completely removing the Linux kernel and AOSP code to become a fully independent platform. This means the operating system no longer supports Android APK files at all, requiring complete reliance on native HarmonyOS applications. Inside China, where local developer support is strong and domestic alternatives exist for nearly every major service, this microkernel architecture runs impressively, and the ecosystem is functional. Outside China, it creates an absolute dead end for international users. Critical Western banking applications, mainstream global entertainment platforms, local transit utilities, and the vast majority of apps that international users consider standard are simply absent from the platform. The hardware that Huawei produces is genuinely impressive. The software ecosystem surrounding it outside of one market is not, and that gap between hardware capability and software availability defines the HarmonyOS experience for anyone living outside China. SteamOS, the future of PC gaming, except when your favorite multiplayer title refuses to launch, and there is nothing you can do about it. Valve's Proton compatibility layer has turned Linux into a legitimate gaming platform, allowing thousands of Windows titles to run on hardware that was never designed to support them. That achievement is real, and it deserves credit, but compatibility is never fully guaranteed, and the most visible failure point is competitive multiplayer gaming. Games with aggressive kernel-level anti-cheat software remain entirely blocked on SteamOS because those anti-cheat systems do not support Linux, and their developers have little incentive to change that. Hardware optimization behaves unpredictably when SteamOS is installed on machines other than Valve's own Steam Deck, pushing users into driver research that casual users should not have to do. And the moment you step outside of gaming and switch to desktop mode, everything changes. The console-like simplicity disappears immediately, dropping users directly into a Linux desktop environment with all of the complexity, terminal navigation, and troubleshooting that Linux requires. SteamOS is genuinely excellent at the specific thing it was built for. Every problem it has begins exactly where that purpose ends.